Good morning and welcome back. I'm Josh Robertson. It is 8:30 now on your Saturday. Let's get back over to Hannah Gard with a look at your Weather Authority forecast and the fog hopefully starting to dissipate.
Yeah, we do have a first alert for fog out there this morning. We've seen some really dense areas of fog, so this advisory is in effect until 10 a.m. and it's been changed a little bit as we've gone throughout the course of the morning. We've seen the far southern areas along the coast that has expired, but we have added St. Tammany and Hancock County, including Bay St. Louis, where the fog is kind of slowly drifting northward. So we are still seeing some areas of very impaired visibility. Belle Chase 0 mile, Slidell a 1/4 mile, over toward Baton Rouge as well, and the river parishes, we're seeing some of that thick fog. So it hasn't quite lifted yet. Some places, though, are looking substantially better than where we were this morning. Now, early this morning, this view out of the tower camera, we couldn't see anything. Now it's looking a lot better. We have a layer of very thin fog out there. The bank has really cleared out. Now that's because our temperatures are starting to warm a little bit, so that temperature inversion or layer in the atmosphere where it was actually kind of warming with height has now started to mix out. So temperatures are in the mid 60s, upper 60s in Slidell. We're almost 70 degrees already this morning. The dew points right along there, almost 70-degree dew points. That's a lot of moisture to work with today. Now the winds are picking up a bit. I think that's helping out with the fog too, but look at these dew points across the region. 68 in Mobile, almost 70 in Houston, and notice how it's kind of trailing up in a triangle up to the northeast. That's because it's going into this weather system that's about to head our way. Here's that warm front that brings all the warmer air, the more moisture into the region. We're already starting to see storms popping up along this low pressure system, and it is looking a little bit more robust on the models. So I want to look at where we're seeing the biggest amount of lift in the upper levels on water vapor. You can see low pressure here. It's kind of starting to dig in this direction. We look for those winds going in different directions. So I'm seeing that really over Arkansas and now farther to the south where we have this easterly progression of the winds. The lift is really here centered over Jackson, but I do think that the dig of this low is a little bit farther to the south. So I am watching for maybe some more of that upper level lift farther south as we go throughout the day today. So storms likely, regardless, we're going to see storms overnight into the early morning. Some of those could be strong to severe. And the level 2 risk here, that's the area in yellow, has been expanded southward. So now it includes the far northern parts of Tangipahoa and Washington Parish. So we are going to see maybe a couple more isolated storms just in the northern parts of our area. And we're all included in the level 1 out of 5 risk for severe storms. We're starting to see some showers and storms offshore to the southwest. So I'm using this model because it's initializing that well. You saw those there. It has them pulling up to the north. The isolated nature of these storms is a little bit concerning. We don't want to see that ahead of a cold front. These have the potential to be on the severe side. So I'm watching for the North Shore. Anything we get ahead of this front, we have a lot of moisture. We have enough lift. We could see gusty winds. There's a low end tornado threat. The flooding threat, I think, is on the lower side, along with that hail threat. So this is, again, around sunset that we could see some of those stronger storms pop up even farther down to the south. As this front approaches across the state, we could see some isolated storms. The line will come through around midnight. This also could have strong to severe storms. Gusty winds, I think, are the biggest threat with the line coming through. And then we see some lingering shower activity into tomorrow morning. By around the late morning hours, the rain should clear out and it will just get really cold. We'll see very windy conditions. So the rainfall is not a huge threat. Maybe we get up to an inch of rain. I'm not even really seeing those isolated higher bullseyes, but I do think that we might see some heavy downpours. It's mostly going to be those wind gusts. We have a low tornado threat and a low hail threat. So make sure you have multiple ways to receive weather alerts heading into tonight and even stay weather aware through this afternoon. I'm not convinced that we wouldn't maybe see a pop-up isolated storm. But tomorrow will be 20 degrees cooler. We're watching for frost from Monday morning all the way through Wednesday morning for the North Shore as that winter air sinks back in. This is a very strong weather system. So again, later today, really want to watch out for that storm threat. Overnight storm threats are the most dangerous.
Yeah.
You want to have multiple ways to get alerts.
And then your tailgate tomorrow for Saints Sunday, people are going to be out setting up their tents and their grills and all that. It's going to be cold and windy.
Yes, the wind is what I would be concerned about for the tailgaters, and it's going to be cold, so you want to bundle up, but the windy conditions behind that front are going to be noticeable.
All right, pay attention to that. All right, thank you very much there, Hannah. 8:35 now. Well, as the fun continues.